Okay, I think I'm live again. So I lost my internet connection. Now I need to re-get the chat. This is annoying. Wait. Yeah, that's our new chat. Get the live chat. Okay. So we're back online. Um yeah, so I'm gonna leave this here, this hole, and see how I'm gonna add a chamber up here. Let's see. Hello, Jacob. So I had to restart the stream for some reason. My internet connection was gone. Now, what I'm worried about is if I add a big chamber here at the front, it's gonna be tail heavy. It's gonna be very tail heavy, and it's gonna tilt backwards. So we need the air chamber to be somewhere right here, but will it be enough? Will it be enough to float? I think we can calculate the volume right now, and it's 4.5, let's say 4.6 cubic centimeters. 4.6, so we don't want it to we do not want it to be heavier than 4.6 grams. That's going to be a big challenge. That's going to be a very big challenge because the plastic is heavy. So if I export this, let's export it as an STL on the desktop for now. Selection only, export STL. Let's see how it's gonna look in the slicer. I haven't cut any holes in it yet. Desktop. Jointed diver. Now it's gonna come as two pieces, but I think we can split them to objects. But first, let me check if we print, just click print. That's 2.7 grams, but that's because, first of all, I always print with 3 lines, and second of all, we want this to be 100%. It's 5.4. It's doable. It's doable. Might be a slow sinker. But wait, there's something wrong. This is, oh, 4.5, not 5.5. Yeah. Do you fish for carp? Yes, I was targeting them today because I had a bunch of boilies left, and from before June 15, because on June 15 lure fishing the lure fishing season started. So I don't want these boilies to like rot and throw them away. So I'm gonna do a couple of carp fishing trips. I went today, but I didn't catch anything. Just barely two like tiny flicks. They barely touched it. It might have been a small brim, but that's all. Okay, so 5.4. We want to remove big amount of material. What if I did like 80? 4.7. I think we're gonna go with something like this, like 70 or 80, and then cut the rest. I'm wondering if these three lines will affect anything. Let's do that. Let's do that. So I'm gonna add a cube. Let's get it up to, I don't know, 12 for now, or 10. Move it here, scale it on the Z. We're gonna have to modify its shape. Skin it down a bit. Tommy, hello. How are you? All is good? What's your biggest bike so far? That's gonna be embarrassing. I've only caught 2 pike, but there's a reason for that, and that's I came here to Czech Republic. It was already October, and the fishing season ends in December. I got my license, I think, after a month or maybe a bit more than that. So I only fished for like 1.5 months, and it was super cold. So I wasn't going every day. So yeah, I managed to get 2 pike, and they were tiny. Czech Republic does not have like really big pike. There might be some big pike here, but I haven't came across any yet. But every day I fish here in Czech Republic, I start to understand why carp fishing and coarse fishing in general is very popular here, because there are not much predators in here. Like, it's super hard to find predators. Or I mean, to catch predators in Czech Republic. And I mean, you can catch them all day, but I mean decent predators like big perch or big pike or big asp. Compared to Ireland, I know that you wouldn't have a good fishing. I catch 4 pounders every trip. My biggest was 10. Yeah, I was told that in Ireland fishing is good. I think Netherlands also it's good. UK, Sweden, I think is like the one of the best places to target the pike. Okay, let's see how this one is gonna go. So I'm gonna add some subdivisions, 5 subdivisions. And what we're gonna do next is, before we do that, I need to take these edges right here, or these vertices, and in the data tab we need to create a vertex group and assign it to these vertices. And the reason for that, I want to add a modifier here called where is it, deform shrink wrap. And once I select the lure, look what's gonna happen. Chaos. So basically what's happening here is this object that I created is shrinking or expanding or whatever to the surface of this lure. Now I want only the top vertices to do that. And now we have whatever is going on here. But the reason that's happening is because it's going to the nearest surface point, and I don't want that. I want it to go up. Pike fishing is hard to get a hold of. Scotland is good. I've tried coarse fishing. We have no carp. It's annoying, but it is what it is. That's a good looking lure. How many centimeters? That looks hard. Coarse fishing here in Czech Republic is very popular. Uh, they have lots of big carps in the river, and they are very strong. They are a bit tricky to catch, but if you go to lakes, I think it's gonna be easier. Now for the wait, we'll get back to fishing, but for this, we wanna project it on the Z axis. Anything else we need to do here? Let me remove what? Come on. Let me remove this. Okay. So the reason we have this issue right here is because this body and this body are like overlapping on this exact same points. So we need to add an offset to this. And I want this offset to be around, wait, where's my slicer? So the walls are around 0.42, inner wall 0.45. Let's assume it's 0.42. Let's multiply that by 3. 1.26. So I want the offset to be exactly 3 walls, which is 1.26. And to answer your other question, this is a 50 centimeter body, or 48 to be exact, and then we have this lip, which is around, how much on the Y? Around 20, I would say. It's a long lip. I might make it smaller. I'm not done with the lip yet, so let's see. Now, what happened here? This offset might have been too big. Where's that cube? I lost the cube right here. Yeah. Let's do 2. So it's 0.42 plus 0.45. Then we have 2 walls. Is this enough? What about sturgeon? You mean sturgeon in Ireland? I think here in Czech Republic we have sturgeon, right? But probably in lakes. I'm not sure about the river. I'd love to catch one. There's private places, but they're expensive. Bike is free. So that's what I do. Oh, Matthias, you're back. Welcome back. That looks like a good lure. Thank you. Did you use that geometry node stuff you mentioned in the beginning? No. No. So I use the masking tools. They look a bit weird, I know. The scales in the front are bigger than the scales in the back, and they're a bit skewed. I wanna do the geometry node thing, but I think I'm not ready yet. Like, if I want to do it right now, because one way there are multiple ways in geometry nodes to tell the node basically where to place the cuts. And one of them, for example, is weight painting. But I tried to do that, and apparently with a multi-res modifier, it does not work. The other way I think is with vertex groups, but because I haven't applied the multi-res and I'm not planning to apply it, then that's also not gonna work. So I need to do some more research about it to see if I can use sculpting masks. Probably that would be like the ideal situation to mask out everything except the area I want scales in, and then use geometry nodes to place scales in these areas. If that works, then we're gonna get more consistent scales. It's mad the stuff you've made looks so professional. Thank you. Thank you so much. That means a lot. The lure that I'm most proud of is where are my stuff? I think it's this one, but it's I don't know why it doesn't want to work the way I want it to work. I tried everything. I removed the fins, the top fin, the bottom fins, and this fin. I left only this one, and it still doesn't work. I changed the location of the weights. I added more weights, and I did lots of experimentation with it, and it did work, but on a very slow retrieve. Once you crank it, it will uh, like flip and roll and do some weird stuff. I will probably do some more changes to it later. Let's see. With all the interviews and everything, it's I don't have too much time at the moment. What about catfish? Oh, you mean catfish? Catfish. I read it like that. Okay, let's see. What can we do here? Let's do something like this, something like that, and probably something like this. You know what? Let's hide the lure just to see what's going on. Right here. Huh. I should probably move this up a bit. And bring back the lure. We can move this here. Super weird what's happening. But I think it's fine. I think it's fine. So we probably, I don't think we're gonna fit one in here. It will not fit. It's gonna be tail heavy. But I'm gonna test it anyways and see what's gonna happen. Now we have an issue here that we should probably fix. Ooh. Super hard to make a small lure, like a 50 centimeter lure, 40 centimeter lure, because look at this. This is the wire. This is the smallest wire that I have, 0.8 mil diameter. I can get away with 1.8 here. But it's gonna be a super tight fit, and sometimes it does not fit. So maybe 1.85, but still, that's not gonna save me any space. So yeah, so I'm hoping with 0.5 grams here, with the weight of this right here, and this right here also, and maybe also the weight of these two, and the air chamber here at the top, I'm hoping it's gonna work. I don't really know too much about that, but I know fins work well if they're made of rubber or brush. I've seen these before. I follow a first of all, I watch Marlin Bates, of course, and some other lure makers, and I'm also part of a lure making Facebook group, and some of them post these tails that are made out of, I don't know, like hair or something. The As you said, like from a brush. I might try that. Bristle. Okay, yeah, it is bristle. And the hooks on the crankbait on the back can be painted so it looks like a tail. Interesting. You could make it on 3D printer and then make a silicone mold so you can make them in soft plastic. Yeah, regarding molds and stuff, I'm gonna experiment with them later, because not only I can make tails, uh, but there are some sort of silicone that is very resistant to temperature, and you can cast lead in it. So, like for example, right here, what I can do is I can create a lead shape that is thick, for example, because at the moment I'm using these balls, these split shot from Decathlon, and I also have some ball bearings, but it's hard to put them in a non-cylindrical shape. Uh, but yeah, if I have a custom shape for the lead, I can also create a silicone mold for it, pour the lead, and then pose the print and place it inside. That would be super cool. But it will be harder for you guys to print the lures. Anyways, let's start cutting stuff. So we're gonna start here, cut this. Just wondering, what did you fish for in Lebanon? Sorry if that's not your country. No, it is. Lebanon is my country. We fish for freshwater, saltwater fish. When I'm fishing from the shore, I'm mostly targeting groupers, and if I just want to have fun, there's an invasive species called pufferfish. You probably heard around about them. They're these like cute little fish that um, blows their belly up to become like a ball. Yeah, so there are two types of these fish. There are like the tiny cute ones, and there are some really big ones, like very big ones. And I would target the big ones because they are everywhere. Everywhere you go, you'll see one. It's super fun to catch them on a topwater walking lure. So that's what I used to do. And sometimes when I'm having fun with them, a huge fish would like blow up the entire area and just runs with the lure. And I have I think I used to fish with like 15 or 20 pound line, which for I think for freshwater that's like super heavy. For freshwater, that's a light line. I think I mixed them up. For freshwater, it's heavy. For saltwater, that's a light line. Yeah. And yeah, I would hook a monster on 20 pound and I would lose the fish, of course. Oh, I think I made a mistake here. I think I made a mistake. Wait. It's gonna cut this part and this part. But yeah, that's when fishing from shore. But when I'm doing some serious fishing, we go on the boat to like 5-6 mile offshore, and we use a technique called jigging. It's very different than jigging in freshwater, because I think in freshwater there's also something called jigging, but in saltwater it's this very fast jigging action with big. They call them saltwater jigs. They are basically a big piece of lead that look like a knife, and these are sometimes like 100 grams. They could be smaller, but 80 grams, 100 grams, and above are like the most common sizes. And we used to catch huge fish with them, like amberjacks and stuff. My brother today was jigging in Lebanon, and he caught a tuna. I think it's a long-tailed tuna or a yellowfin tuna. I'm not sure yet which one of them. It had yellow color on the fin, but it does not have the two big fins of a yellowfin tuna. So I'm guessing it's a long tail. What happened here? Where did my hole go? Let's try fast. That's what I do when I cast spoons. You're talking about the jigging? I find in hotter countries the fish are way cooler. But fishing in Lebanon um is not the best. I mean, yeah, you can catch some really big fish if you go offshore. But also not always. So sometimes most of the time you don't catch anything, and then one day, like, you go on a trip, you don't catch anything, you go on a next trip, maybe you catch one or two small fish, and then like the third trip you're lucky, and then you boom, a huge fish, like a huge amberjack, 20, 30, 40 kilograms, could be even bigger. It could be taller than you, out of nowhere just hits your jig on the last minute of the trip and starts running, and then it's a 2 hour fight to get it in. And salt, I fish for pollock and sea bass. Yeah, sea bass, we have sea bass, but they are super small, not the same sea bass you guys have. I watched many English fishermen fishing for sea bass. I love sea bass fishing. Um, Maybe one day I'll do it. But yeah, I think you guys catch them on like topwater plugs and stuff like that. Do you know morning baits? Of course I know morning baits. The morning whifflet? Oh, I didn't get that. The molting whifflet. I did not get that. Okay, so there's something weird going on here. Uh, Give it a second. The more Boolean modifiers you have, the slower it gets. So everything is working fine. And by the way, we need a hole for the lip. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep this lip design. Let's assume for now we're gonna keep it. So I'm going to extrude it by 0.2 mils because this is what I usually use. And let's cut it. I use silicone mold when I cast spoons in lead. Oh, okay, now I get you. Sorry, because we were talking about multiple things and things got mixed up. When I cast spoons in lead. So you cast lead spoons, but how does that work out for you? Because lead is not that strong. It's not as strong as steel or stainless steel or whatever. How would you attach the line to the lead directly? Okay, so now we have a hole. We have all the holes. Sorry, we have all the holes, and we have the weight chamber. The only thing that's not working at the moment is the air chamber. For some reason, it doesn't want to cut. And let me hide the lure. And there's something weird going on here. Whoops, no. Enable symmetry. Okay, what if I move this back? Interesting. Oh, come on. I guess we can do that. But why is this sharp? Merge by distance. No. Why are you sharp? We can check that by doing this, but okay. Now we can really see what's going on. If we do this, I think if we shrink wrap first, then subdivide, we're gonna end up with a better looking shape overall. Let's try now to cut. And so do you know what I mix it with 10, but if I make lead weights for when I fish for salmon in Norway, I only use lead. Interesting. So when you mix it with 10, it makes it stronger. And basically it will support like the weight of the fish when you hook a fish. It's not working. Why? It's not cutting. Why are you not working? Fast solver options. Allow self-intersection. Better result when there are holes. Probably it's one of these two, but if we have to enable one of these for it to work, then there's something wrong. We shouldn't have to do that. Oh, come on. I should have removed the boolean. Nice. Nice. So lead and tin. Did not know that. Now I know. Probably, yeah, probably that's what they use also for the jigs, saltwater jigs. They probably mix them with tin, but they have a through wire anyways. Some of the lower quality like AliExpress ones or the ones that are made locally, they sometimes just fall off your line. And it happened multiple times with me. But what I usually do with these hooks is I have a split ring and the solid ring. So the solid ring is attached to my line, and it's attached to a split ring. And that split ring is attached to the jig and also to the hooks. So the hooks are not actually. So when you hook a fish, the jig is just hanging there on the outside. The hook is directly connected to the main line. But sometimes you have to put another hook at the other end of the jig, because in salt water there are fish that have teeth that are way stronger and sharper than pike teeth. They could I mean, for pike, I think you can put a trace wire or something. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but these fish can cut anything. Okay, so this is not working for some reason. No, I don't want to move it. Come on. I clicked it by mistake. Now I have to wait. I wanted to hide the lure. I was clicking H. I clicked G by mistake, and now it thinks I want to move it. You can also use something called balance blocks. Nice. There's so much that I don't know about yet. But I will. Because I plan on doing, as I said, some lead pouring, probably some soft plastic pouring. Come on. I clicked escape. What the hell? And even polyurethane. Because even though I can print lures, I think it's easier to just pour the lure instead of printing it. It only takes like a couple of minutes, and you can demold it in what, like 5-10 minutes. A lure requires at least, for the smallest lure, I think it's like 25 minutes to print. But usually they have some like some small issues, blobs and stuff like that. If you can print one, preferably using a resin printer, and sand it clean, give it like a couple coats of primer, create a silicone mold, and then pour polyurethane resin with microspheres, and maybe also a mold for the lead to pour it directly on the through wire. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Oh, no. Okay, that was a mistake. Unpin. Thank you. Okay, cool. H, not G. And how are we gonna fix you? Let me put these on the cage. Okay, probably that's the issue. Let me see. You can go back. Is it though? What is going on here? Okay, so I want all of these to have the same Y value. Scale on the Y, no. Scale on the X 0, just to be sure. And apparently they all have. Let's move this downwards a bit, and this one. We cannot move this one. But is that even the issue? I doubt it. My grandfather once tried to make a crankbait where the line ran through it. They didn't work so well, the movement was not so good. I don't think that the line through is what caused this. There are lots of things to think about when making a lure. I'm planning on making a video about it actually. Especially the part of weighing and ballast and stuff. But my video is going to be more about 3D printing, but the concept is the same, whether it's wood or plastic or whatever. Okay, one last try, and there's probably a way to do that. I'm just too tired. It's like 12 p.m. But let's see. Okay, did it work? No, it did not work. Okay, let's see. Is it just like a rendering issue right here? What happens when I export it? Will it work? Reload from disk. No. So at the moment it's 4.5 grams. The plan is to take as much material as possible, but only from the top. So how do we do that? We can do, first of all, let me set this to, I'll set it to grid for now, but probably gyroid is what I would use. Okay, cool. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try doing it here in the slicer itself. So we're gonna add a modifier, which is a cube. Okay. And we can give it a height. And let's put it here somewhere. Maybe up here, height 13. And now we can scale it. Whoops. We can scale it on the Y and move it again. Something like that. Yeah. And now I can go here and change the infill to something like 10. Let's see. So we're at 3.7 grams now. And this is how it looks. We have more weight and more weight at the bottom, less weight at the top. Now if I go back and rotate the entire thing, let's do it like that, or the screen color, view, show overhangs. Yeah, that's fine. That is completely fine. 3.9. 3.9 with let's say we still have the lip. We need 4.5. We already have 0.5 grams right here as the ballast, so it's gonna sink. It's definitely gonna sink. And this is not strong enough. Yeah, this is not strong. So I have to do a couple of modifications. I want to move this up a bit, like 0.4 mils, to be able to get a third line in here. Or else it's gonna break. This is all fine. This is fine. I wonder if I remove this, it might work without it. So I might actually remove it. Also, let's see, do I have any issues? Any other issues? No, I think here at the front it's fine. This is gonna be supported by the lip. And it's already supported down here, so this one is fine. Yeah, so I just want to fix this. I might remove, as I said, the weight chamber, and maybe what we can do is come back here and oh, come on. Maybe do this because I don't want it to be tail heavy, so I'm fine with the less weight at the back. 3.79, we didn't save much, but oh wait, we forgot to remove this. Minimum sparse infill threshold. I always set it to 0 when printing lures. What it does basically is sometimes it fills these areas where it's currently. So if I set it back 15, yeah, it's gonna make everything solid unless it's bigger than 50 cubic or millimeter squared. So right here, for example, or these are bottom layers, I don't know. But yeah, that's one thing I change. Another thing we can change to save some more weight, ensure vertical shell thickness, I can set it to none. 3.4 or 3.5. I think now we're fine to add 0.5 grams here. So here's the thing. With lures, especially small lures or even big lures, I think it's the same. Unless it's like a really big lure, like a big pike lure, then I think that doesn't matter too much unless you're adding too much infill, like 50 or 80%. But for small lures, like this one, we're adding 3 walls. And I don't like to go lower than 3 walls. Maybe if I use a 0.2 nozzle, which I think I should use it for such lures, then we can go with less material here. But for now, 0.4 nozzle, which is the most common nozzle size, we're gonna need 3 walls and we're gonna need some infill, of course. So this will add up. As you can see, this is already like approaching the density of the lure. You want to save as much weight as you can in the plastic, and you want to reintroduce this weight as lead or ballast or like these ball bearings or something. um, and the reason for this, the more not more is not the correct word or let's say more, the more weight you have as ballast compared to the overall density of the shell, the more stable the lure will be. So I can I can skip the weight and just increase the density until I'm happy with the total weight, but this will not be stable. Um, Now the thing that I did here, which is having more infill at the bottom and less infill at the top, this is experimental. I still don't know if it's gonna work or not. It probably, I don't know, it might work, but again, I need to test it. But what I have found is plastic on its own will not do well. You always need some sort of weight. And you know you want this weight to overpower the plastic to get good action. I hope that makes sense. I'm gonna make a video about this anyways. I'll put it in a way that does make sense. Anyways, it's 12:09. Let's read the messages. He also made one that was similar to the other, but where the line didn't run through, it was fine movement. So here's the thing. You can't say that, given what you said now, that the reason it worked, the second one, is because he didn't use through wire, because there are too many variables. I'm guessing it was a wooden lure, right? It was made by hand. So, first of all, wood is not a material that, how do you explain this? If you get two pieces of wood, even if they are the exact same dimensions, they are not the same. Wood grain is it's random. So one piece could have, for example, which is a low chance, but it could happen. It could have like a very tight grain on one side and a very loose grain on the other side. And this will make it heavier on the right, for example, than the left, and it will not be stable in the water. That's one thing. The second thing, it's handmade, so it could not be symmetric. It could not be carved well, for example, or sanded symmetrically. The third thing is through wire, so I'm assuming it was made out of two pieces that was cut and then glued together. Maybe that had to do with it. I don't know. So it could be anything. Anyways, that's it for today, I guess. It's already 12. And one thing I wanna talk about is lure reviews. So I asked on the channel that I wanna do some lure reviews because we discussed it on Discord before, and some people were interested in the idea where you guys send me your designs, your fishing lures, and then I will review them and give you some feedback. It's gonna be it's gonna be a YouTube video, so I will give you feedback on your fishing lure. I will probably print it. I will go test it, fish with it, see the action, and also maybe give you suggestions on how you can improve it if it's not working. If it's working, then that would be amazing. But yeah. The less infill on top would work well on a wobbler like Uko, finished trout wobbler. I'm interested in what is this? I'm guessing it's this one, right? That's a weird looking lure. Uko Vapu. Uko VAAPPU. Vaput, I think. Pico. Truta. These are some weird looking lures. The smaller one. Oh, wait. The 3? Ah, okay. Yeah. That will probably catch lots of perf. Yes. Again, it's something that I'm experimenting with. So I'll let you guys know how it goes, because the reason I went with this idea in the first place was because there was no place to put weight on the front. So I'm still not sure about the weight placement here at the back. I might remove it and just stick to this infill, and maybe even set it to 100. Something like this. Just fill it solid and remove this. I don't know yet. We'll see. Will be interesting if that, yeah, I'm also interested in knowing if it will work or not. As I said, I will keep you guys posted on Discord what's gonna happen with this lure. So yeah, if you have a lure, if you designed the lure, and if you haven't designed the lure, then check out my live streams. It's super easy. It's not that hard. So I encourage you to try it. And maybe when you do, you'll send me the final lure for feedback. That would be amazing. I'm not sure about this hinge placement right here. Should be in the middle, I guess. Yeah, this might be weird. But I will definitely update this and see how it works. Like, worst case scenario, I can scale it up to 60 mil instead of 50. And then I will have more room to move things around. That's like the worst case scenario, but I'll try not to get there. Anyways, yeah, I think that's it for today. So thank you guys for sticking around. If you have any questions, just let me know on Discord or add a comment to this video. And see you in the next live stream. Thank you guys. Bye.